Hey there, sweet peas. Happy Friday. Today I was thinking, since the last couple readings felt a little heavy, I was thinking, how about a reading specifically about what encouragement and positive messages you need to hear right now? So I thought I'd start out with maybe what dream or dreams have you been experiencing that might help you know that this is your reading. So what dream or dreams have the collective been experiencing that will let them know that this reading is for them? Childhood home. Church, temple, mosque. And shopping. Okay. Let's see here. So the message on childhood home is remember where you're from and who you really are. Church, temple, and mosque does not necessarily mean a physical place. It says recognize your spiritual authority. And then shopping is pay attention to what energizes you. So what it feels like to me is that you're looking more at your roots. You have been maybe exploring your spirituality a bit more lately than you were in the past. You may be paying more attention to signs, messages, spending more time reading up on spirituality and understanding what that means to you, what your own personal definition is, what moves you, what makes you feel like you are making a difference spiritually. And I think that dovetails nicely into the shopping card where you're paying attention to what energizes you. You're looking more at what makes you feel like you're making a difference, what makes you feel like you're building a better future, not just for yourself, but I think for future generations. You're thinking beyond your own future and looking more at the bigger picture. And that could just be for community or friends or something, but it feels like you're looking more at what affects others and not just yourself. So if that sounds like you, then this may just be your reading. Let's see. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about messages for the collective. Nine of Cups in reverse. And the Lovers. Interesting. Okay. So a funny thing about the Lovers is, most people, their minds instantly go to relationships, but the Lovers can also be about choice. It can be about deciding what's right for you, what's good for you. And I think that also ties in with childhood home and remembering where you're from and who you really are. The Nine of Cups tells me that you've experienced a bit of, I don't want to say heartbreak, but difficulties in the subject of love. Emotionally, you've been tied up. There were an abundance of choices that could have been made between you and it looks like another person here. It could have been a group or it could be family. It doesn't really feel like a romantic relationship. It feels more like it was whatever led to you questioning your spirituality, and maybe even the church that you attended when you were a kid, or whatever belief system your parents had. It feels like you're looking more at what you need to choose for yourself to find happiness instead of what makes others happy. It feels like you're moving away from what other people want. I think that's a positive thing. And it might be a little bit painful, you know, it might be a little tough to deal with that. But there's a strength there that I really like. All right, and I see it is natural for my body to be well. You do not have to think specific positive thoughts about your body, but you have to not think specific negative thoughts. If you could never again think about your body and instead just think pleasant thoughts, your body would reclaim its natural place of wellness. Yeah, so this is an interesting deck. It's called Ask and It Is Given cards. And they're about the law of attraction and basically things that dovetail into how to change your mindset in order to actually have the things that you want. So this may, again, dovetail into an emotional body rather than the physical body. If you've been concentrating more on the hurt instead of on what you want and the positive aspects, then you may be pulling in more hurt instead of moving into the energy that actually makes you feel better. And if you can get into the habit of making decisions for yourself and your higher good, I think that will help you very much in that aspect of recognizing the spiritual path that is right for you. If that is something that you're still working on, then I think that would be a positive thing for you. So now I'd like to get advice. Now, anybody who knows me knows I've been working with spirit guides for quite a long time, and today felt like the kind of day where I should call on them. And I really like these decks. I think they're very cute. So the one that I'm shuffling right now is the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. I would like advice. I would like advice for the collective that they need to hear in order to achieve their goals and reclaim their spiritual authority. How can they achieve their goals, reclaim their spiritual authority? Huh? Look at that. Accept heaven's help. You've prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to call on a specific God. If you have spiritual leanings and you work with spiritual entities, you can call on them. You can ask your guides, your angels, your ancestors, whoever you work with, to come forward and help you. And I think it's rather beautiful that the mermaid is reaching out and all of those birds are coming down and answering her. So I feel like maybe you haven't asked for help and guidance from your spirit guides in this journey. So if you change that, you might see more results or have clearer answers during your whatever time you're spending on this, whether it's in your dreams or meditation. But this next deck is the messages from the fairies. So let's see what the fairies have to say. The same question. So tell me more. What advice? What advice? Birthday. A significant birthday holds the answer to your question. Son. Your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. And your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. Okay. So I know obviously not everybody has a kid, and they don't always have a son either. but it does feel like there's a significant date that may have something to do with what brought all these feelings to the surface. It could have been something good or bad that happened, but I feel like it's related to whatever this is, whatever made you feel bad, whatever that date is. I think that is trying to actually tell you to take a look at it and not flinch away from it and ignore it so that you can make your decision about it, because you have protection. You do have protection. Now, in this card, you can see the child fairy is reaching to the frog, and that again makes me feel like reaching out to your guides. So it could very well be that there is a male spiritual being who is trying to tell you that you are protected. Someone in your spirit team. And then your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. So, you know, you have these two cards about getting help from your guides and having faith. I think that's really, really significant. That's something to consider, because it doesn't feel like you've listened to them lately. You may know that they are there. You may have actually started acknowledging that this is part of your path, but I don't necessarily feel like you've listened to them. So, you know, it's funny too, if you look here at this Lovers card, you can see the lovers are surrounded by all these spirits lifting them up and guiding them to happiness. So I do feel like there's something there. And actually too, also if you look at shopping, I think it says something here that there's this swirl of energy, and then you have this swirl of energy. Something to take into consideration. You are surrounded by beings who love you and want to help you and guide you. It's just a matter of listening to them. All right, so I have one more deck of this flavor, and this is the unicorns, magical unicorns. What advice do you have for the collective about this? What advice do you have for the collective? Healer. You have the power to help and heal others. And thankful. Think about the people and things you feel grateful for. Okay, so with the healer, you have the power to help and heal others. I think, you know, you can see the fairy reaching out to the young unicorn here, and it feels like a more giving is needed here, because we have thankful too. Think about the people and things you feel grateful for. And you can see the two girls consoling each other here. And the unicorn is trying its best to help too. But it can be very hard when you're in this energy of just feeling broken or lost. Finding that sense of gratefulness when you feel like you've been hurt or betrayed, or something didn't go the way you expected, and it's just so hard to find that faith that you're being pushed to hold on to in order to get what it is you're looking for. I know that that's not always the easiest, especially when it feels like your world is crumbling down around you. You know, it could be a job loss, it could be a death in the family, it could be, you know, the loss of a beloved pet, whatever it is, I think that has had you thinking a lot more about your thoughts about the less tangible. And I don't think it's a bad thing to look into what you need to do to heal and consider more what you should be grateful for. There is something in your life that it may not feel like it right now, but I have the feeling once you have more understanding of why it happened, it will feel more like a gift than a burden, even though it doesn't feel like it right now. So something may have happened that felt more like a betrayal or a loss, but I think in the long run it'll be better for you. It's just really, really hard to see that right now. Now, I wanted to end this on what spirit animal has a message for the collective. What spirit animal has a message for the collective? Or what will they see? What will be a good sign for them to know that they're hearing their guides, they're on the right path, things are going the right way? All right. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. So we have the dog, the moth, the octopus, and the cicada. So I'm going to go off the cuff before I look at the guidebook for this, but we have the moth and the cicada are both creatures of the night that go through a transformation to reach their adult phase. So I feel like there's something about transformation and stepping into your power that's speaking of. The dog and the octopus are both very intelligent animals, very intelligent. Dogs are loyal and kind, and they form deep, strong bonds, which could have something to do with this Nine of Cups and Lover's energy. And octopi are very clever and very good at finding ways to make their environment work for them. So you could be being cautioned to use your wits more to see how you can use the tools you already have in order to achieve your goals here. But the big ones sticking out to me are the moth and cicada. That word transformation is just ringing out, and I feel like you're being urged to embrace the transformation. Right now you might be fighting it a little bit. You might be more in this energy of needing to figure out how to be thankful or what to be thankful for, because I think you're still a little much in this, haven't quite gotten out of that stage yet, but you're getting there. It's that matter of faith, that matter of having faith and reaching out to your guides for help, because they are there. They do want to help you. And I think once they do, it will help you figure out how to help others more. So let's take a look at what the guidebook has to say. Start with the dog. Joy, honesty. The dog is a creature of joy, loyalty, and honesty. We can all learn something from the dog. Chrysanthemums often symbolize that same joy and happiness, so let this be your sign to allow more of it into your life. An invitation. Where in your life Can you invite more love, joy, and honesty through your relationships with the people around you? The moth. Silver lining, shining bright. The moth hints that we might be hiding our own light, dimming it to fit in or because of societal expectations, but that serves no one. The solar eclipse shows us that we might be hiding that light, so take a deep breath, remove those barriers, and shine bright. An invitation. Where in your life might you be holding yourself back because you are afraid of succeeding? The octopus. Ingenuity, flexibility. The octopus is a master at flexibility, getting into and out of just about anything it sets its mind to. This is your invitation to embrace the spirit of the octopus and contort yourself mentally a bit to achieve your dreams. Clematis flowers symbolize mental strength and ingenuity, reminding us that the bit of discomfort you will experience will be worth it. An invitation. How might going out of your comfort zone benefit your life? And lastly, the cicada. Transformation, change. The cicada is a creature of transformation, but unlike the butterfly, they change rapidly without a pupal stage. The yew tree branches often symbolize resurrection, reminding us that we can and will get through these inevitable life changes. An invitation. Is there a major life change on your horizon that is bringing fear and trepidation with it? Sometimes speed is key, and to face the change head on. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, my loves, I hope that helped. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and, if this was helpful, let me know. Leave a comment if you have some thoughts about it. If you have some thoughts about what you'd like me to read on next, let me know. All right. Love you, beautifuls. Have a wonderful weekend.